good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to Monday Mentor. I'm Jen Whitmer, and I help teams and leaders solve conflict, cultivate communication, and create empowered teams. But it all starts with you as the leader. I'm so glad that you're here today. I cannot wait to share my guest with you because not only is she a powerhouse of a person and owns like 82 businesses, she is a really amazing networker. And I know the word networking can get people a little nervous. And I remember the first time I went into like a real networking event, I was like, what do I say? What's the right word? Why am I even here? And I like people and I'm nervous about that. But I think as a leader, it's so important to understand why you have a network. And our guest today, Michell Stockman, is fantastic at that and has a whole group for us to know about called Women Empowering Women. So welcome, Michell.
Hello. How are you? I was jamming to the music while we were waiting for the little bit, so I got my moves in.
Good. I'm so glad. If you are here live, let us know you're here live in the comments. If you've got questions, drop them in. If you're watching the replay, again, let us know that you're here and we will come back and answer your questions. So I wanted, Michell, let the people know a little bit about you. I, alluded to the fact that you own all these businesses, but you are a local person to me. We're both here in St. Louis, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. And it's not 86 or 87 or whatever you said a moment ago. It's more like, 60 some, I think. I just really love opportunity.
Managing expectations.
So I'm Michell Stockman, as you mentioned. I'm CEO, co-founder of Women Empowering Women, which is the networking organization. And I too agree. I hate the word networking. Everybody knows it's hard to come up with a new word for that. But we are looking into re-educating people. Networking is not so scary. So for the last 9 years, we've been building that organization, which really brings together, and it's not just women, even though that's in our title, but it's people of all ages and backgrounds to come together, to connect, to collaborate. The reason it was created was because we found a need for it. Networking's all the rage. It's also make me sick. I don't want to do it. And there's so many out there, right? There's so many to choose from. Some of them are industry exclusive. They have a time or they're cost prohibitive, or they focus more on the sales aspect, or, they're too woo-woo-y of sorts, and as a fluent networker, I found that there's a number of people I needed and wanted to meet that had become incredible mentors or resources, but they weren't able to commit to other groups. Or I belonged to their seat that was already filled. So a colleague and I discussed this. We wanted to find a place where women could come together, connect personally, professionally. We're multifaceted beings, right? We're, moms, we're daughters, we're wives, we own businesses, we work the 9 to 5, we have multiple 67 other businesses. We like to do a lot of different things. And so we need to be around other people who inspire us, motivate us, make us look at opportunities, find different paths to do. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell. The other businesses have all come together because of my networking, my collaboration with other groups and industries, the talking, the connecting, the thinking of, that sounds interesting. Let's see what that's all about. So that's kind of how everything else sort of evolved from.
I love it. So I'm really wanting to back us up a little bit. When we talk about networking, like you said, there's some connotations to that word. We all have some different feelings about it. I'd love it if you are here in the comments to let us know how you feel about networking. Is it fun? Is it scary? Tell us how you feel about that. But I would love for you to give us just, you said you wanted to re-educate us about networking. So what is your definition of what networking is?
I don't have a true definition because it's still evolving and growing. My version of what networking is not is going up and meeting somebody and shoving my business card in their face.
Please don't do that.
Here I am. That is what networking should not be. Networking to me is an evolving process. It's something that, it's like dating. I'm not going to go, and I'm very happily married, by the way, because I'm going to be listening to this. But it's similar to that dating process where I'm not going to go on that first date and start talking about marriage and babies and things like that, or let's get married, let's hook up, let's do this. No, it's going to start a little more slowly. I need to get to know who you are. Do our work ethics align? Do we feel passionate about the same things? Are you going to scam my customers if I'm going to introduce them to you? So getting to kind of know that little bit, it doesn't always have to be professional. It can also, I want to know you as a person as well, because that will really align to how you act in your business. And that's not just business owners, it's anybody who could do that. So getting to kind of build that relationship, the first date is great. The second date, maybe you start talking about how can we work together? It's that trying each other out a little bit, maybe testing each other in one way or another of how you handle your clients. And also knowing that it's okay. You may never do business together. Mm-hmm. Jen and I may never do business together. I may never hire her for a coach, but I think she's an amazing consultant in that aspect. But for whatever reason, maybe it doesn't work out for us. But I know other people who it may work out for, or I may already have somebody that I use and utilize for that. So it's knowing that we don't have to have that connection or business, but we can still stay very connected because I love Jen's energy. So I want to be around it all the time. And so it's wonderful that way. But to know that that's okay, it doesn't have to go that route. Mm-hmm. I don't know who Jen knows. Jen doesn't know everybody that I know. And so there's other ways that we can work together or collaborate or just connect one another with other people we need to know, right?
Absolutely. You said so many good things in there. And I think I would try to sum it up in that we're whole people. I mean, I say that a lot. We're whole people living whole lives. And while our businesses or our careers are a component of that, it's not everything. And that's a really important part of living an aligned whole life. Compartmentalization doesn't work. And so when you go into compartmentalization, you're very tempted to be transactional, which is that here's my business card. Let's do like that kind of hard sell, which I don't know anybody who likes. I mean, maybe somebody likes it. I don't know.
Nobody I know, not the people I surround myself with, for sure.
Nobody I know likes it. It must work in some way, or maybe it's just old teaching. I don't really know, but it's not how I want to do business, because I want to align values with people. I want to like them as a human, as a person. So I think that's so important. The other thing that you said that I think is really valuable is that I want to explore a little bit is that idea of having connections around you, that we have all these different components to us. And I know, so I attend a West County chapter of Women Empowering Women here in St. Louis. And there's a couple coaches, there's a couple speakers, there's a lot of people who work in corporate America, there's a couple entrepreneurs. It's very different. And I love getting out of that very different perspectives and just some new fun friends that I would never probably meet if I didn't do that. So why do you think a network really matters to our careers and our business? Why does it matter so much?
So you've said like 30 things in there that I need to explain all of, and I try to really focus on listening, so I'm not answering them in my head. But a lot of the things, number one, I feel like I should also put in the disclaimer, business cards have their purpose. I don't want to scam people who do business cards because I design them all the time. But it helps me write down that information about a person or connect electronically. I want to connect with you so I remember you later, because if you hand me your business card, we didn't make a connection, I didn't remember even something as simple as, oh, I love that shirt they were wearing, or something like, wow, they had an industry I hadn't ever heard of before. I need those little nuggets to help me remember what to connect later. That's very important. It doesn't always have to be something memorable either. You don't have to come in with some, prefab, really great intro. I'm not going to remember you from that. But if you tell me a story about something that happened in your business, how your journey started, something with your kids, something with a vacation you just took. That's going to be more memorable to make that connection and then go, oh yeah, I remember. She had a really interesting story of how she started her business. I want to get back into that with her. So those are those kind of things of where that's really important, and that connection is important. I too, one of the reasons with Women Empowering Women, I love meeting other people who do what I do. I have a very much collaborative spirit, not competitive. I am competitive, but I'm not worried about somebody stealing my business. I'm not worried about, there's so much to go around. And I feel in so many industries, there really is people that are very, fixed mindset where they're worried about who's going to take this client or that client. Really aren't getting it, and they're probably struggling in their business. I find people who have that growth mindset of, oh my gosh, let me talk to this person and this person. In my business, which is marketing, we do web design, graphic design, social media marketing, SEO stuff, all that. There's 8 gajillion of people like me and companies like me, right? I'm not everybody's go-to. They're not my go-to client. And through the years, because of connections and collaborations, I have found what I like to do. So I love my job every single day because I hate writing emails, but I have a team of another company who lives for writing emails, and I pass that work over to them all day, every day. I design the graphics, the headers, my team works on those pieces, but we don't have to sit there and just be so, oh, I can't give them this. They might take my whole client away because of that. No. And if they do, then shame on me because I did not nurture that client in a way, or they're not a very loyal client and I don't want them anyway. If their ethics are to run with whomever, go for it. Not my people.
Yeah. Well, there's such a, like you said, that growth mindset, and Christina mentioned it in the chat, like it's the growth mindset aspect of we are better together. We can collaborate. I can learn something new. Changes not only how we, if you're a business owner, how you run a business, it helps how you run your team. Like you might find somebody like, you're like, I'm really missing this role on my team that I didn't even know that I needed. Or that person really talked about the way they schedule their employees or whatever. I wonder if I could try that. Like you find ideas, because when you're living within a fixed system, everything gets stagnant. It's like a pond versus a stream where things come in and you're like, oh, this could be new. And you don't get that without a network. You don't get that without people bringing that to you.
And it's not even the whole just our business and our work life, right?
Yeah.
My least favorite phrase is work-life balance. There's no such thing, and I can't stand it. Integration, I've learned to, because I used to live in this balance, like, okay, 8 hours allotted to sleep, 8 hours allotted to my family, 8 hours allotted to my job. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're in any kind of business, it's always stirring in your head. What's my to-do list for tomorrow? And when I'm at work, it's not that I'm always thinking of what I could be doing at home, the dishes, the pickups, the whatever. It's figuring out, how do I integrate that? And as women, we feel guilty because we're not spending the time where we need to spend it, right? So when I'm at work, oh, I should be at home. I should be doing laundry. I should be making sure dinner is ready. I should be making sure the kids, blah, blah, blah. When I'm at work or home, then I'm like, oh, I have that to-do list. I have to get this finished. Oh my gosh, I have this wonderful interview tomorrow I need to prepare for. All these things. And we just feel guilty all the time when we have seasons. A friend once told me about seasons. I have seasons where I'm going to be way busier with the family. I'm going to be way busier with the work. I'm going to be way busier with this. And by being around other people who can tell you, that's okay. I've been through that. I've made it through that. That's huge. It's such a relief. It's such a, oh, thank you.
Yes, I completely agree. And I am Jana Grigorgic, who I met through Women Empowering Women, was a guest of a while ago. And we've been talking about, have a whole episode on why work-life balance is a myth, because both of us talk a lot about integration. And again, this idea of a whole life. And we, as women in particular, experience that guilt. But as you said, when someone else can tell you, it's okay. That's how it works right now. Laura said preach, and she's got a young baby. And it's like, yeah, this is a different season than both of us who have older kids, and
Yeah.
it feels different. And we can't leave part of ourselves at home, and we can't, because wherever you go, there you are. And so we bring those feelings with us. We bring the struggles with us. We bring the excitement with us.
And the comparison with us, right?
Yes, yes.
So if Laura has a young baby and she's like, how are Michelle and Jen getting all of this stuff done? Well, our kids are managing themselves. So we have a different aspect to it, but we don't have those requirements on us. So that's a hard thing too, to realize I should be doing everything this person is doing. And,
Yes.
and that happens with my peers as well, right?
Mhm.
So some have smaller kids, some have older kids, some, are at different spaces or in their dating lifestyle. How are you getting this done? Well, this is how it's working for me. And you're not going to have everybody who's in the exact same season scenario that you are, but you can empathize and you can share what you've learned through that. You can share when you need to take those moments, or how you balance it, or what's a great crock pot meal so you can take over.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things that I've loved about being a part of this networking group is that the connections that I've gotten to make for other people. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to know this person. Like, I don't have any necessarily role in who these, like the businesses they do, but they do. And it's so fun to bring that together. And I think it teaches us, again, that growth mindset of collaboration and connection are how we find things. I mean, men have done this for years. Like it's not
I
new.
would love to find a way to monetize that piece. And I feel like I get a thrill more when I'm like, oh, I know somebody I need to connect you with. You two are going to do amazing things together. And honestly, that's how one of my businesses kind of started. I was helping a client, and I have a technology partner who does apps and software. And she was asking me if I could make this Excel spreadsheet. And I'm like, no way, that's beyond. And you need something bigger. You have grown to a point, you need something bigger. I connected the two of them. They created a CRM for travel agencies. When I saw what they were doing, and knowing both of them the way I knew them, I'm like, I want to be a part of this. I don't know what that looks like, but I need to be a part of it. And since then, I came in with that. We're one of the fastest growing CRMs in the travel industry. And totally random stuff, but it's because of those kind of, who can I connect you with? And that's not always the ultimate goal, but I do get a thrill of, I'd love to keep all these people for myself, but who has the time for that?
Right.
I don't have time for all those friendships. So I have to help spread them out, and like-minded people need to know other people who feel that energy and want to be around them. So absolutely.
I love that so much. Okay, so we're again at the spot where I'm like, I can't believe it's over. And so I have so many more things to ask you. And but I'd love for you to tell us a little bit. Like, Women Empowering Women has been around for 10 years.
Not
now.
10 yet, almost 10.
Almost 10 years.
Going into our 10th year.
So tell us a little bit about where the people can find Women Empowering Women. It's not just a St. Louis thing, but where can they find you? How can they keep following you? Find Women Empowering Women. Tell us the things.
Yes. So Women Empowering Women, we have a website, which I think you've shared on this, weewnational.com. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm very blunt half the time. I share lots of items and things like that. We are growing. We tried to grow nationally right before the pandemic, had everything in place, lots of new chapters lined up. Pandemic, we thought, oh, let's just pause that for a little bit. 2 years later, it's a little nuts. So we are getting ready to start that again. I have my dream team assembled. Things happen for a reason, right? And that's that growth mindset component as well. It didn't work then, but honestly, we probably weren't ready for it. Now, the people in place, the things in place, the things we've learned are going to make it incredible. And I'm so excited. And what a perfect opportunity to roll into our 10th year doing this. So yes, I'm thrilled with that. But yes, please attend a meeting. We're getting ready in January to launch virtual meetings again, which were the thing. And I know people are tired of Zoom, but there is a place for it because you can connect with people all over. Technology has been amazing for that. Things, we can talk to people all over the world very easily as if we're just sitting here in the same room together. So please just check us out and come visit. Men are welcome as well. It's a very empowering environment. And so everyone is welcome.
So great. You can find Women Empowering Women here. I also dropped it in the comments. Michelle, thank you so much for taking time out of your only 63 businesses that you run for coming and sharing with us. I think that you are such a gifted relationship builder. And I think that is the core of why networking works so well, is when we're interested in developing real relationships with real people. And so you are excellent at that.
Aww.
So thank you for coming on today. Join us next week. We're always here every week at 1 p.m. Eastern. For Monday Mentor next week is Dr. Karen Dahl. And she is another friend of mine who is an amazing psychologist and has a book called Improving Your Psychological Fitness. And so she will be here next week. In the meantime, check out Women Empowering Women. Go follow Michelle and have a great weekend. And we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.